What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Season 2 of Track Talkers. This is the Pro Motocross Preview Show.
And we're going to talk everything round one and just get right into it, right?
Yeah, let's get right into it. Eli Tomac did a great interview, I thought, with Swap Moto Live. We did get some insight into it. He said he will be back for 2026. He wants to race in 2026, so that is a huge deal for everybody in the motocross community.
And he's looking for a 2-year deal.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. That kind of changes up who's he going to sign with. You know what I mean? That definitely opens up that KTM spot. I've seen more and more rumors about him going to KTM. So that is good news for the pro motocross community all the way around. The other thing, I don't want to say I told you so, Ty, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say I told you so. So far, we have heard nothing but an Instagram story about Webb saying, you know, testing's going good, things are going good. So as far as we know right now, Webb is testing. He will show up to round one. What do you think?
I don't know. Why wait? Just get your thumb fixed. If you know your thumb needs to get fixed, get it fixed.
Well, this is my thoughts on that whole situation, right? He talked about it in the press conference at Supercross. He said he went on a run with his agent. We talked about this. And they said, we're just going to run the Supercross series. And he ended up winning. So maybe he's kind of thinking like, if I did it once, why can't I do it twice?
Yes.
You know, so I think it's the good call. I predicted it kind of, you know, go in, try to do the first 3 or 4 rounds and see how it goes.
I mean, that's definitely a good call, but if it's going south for Cooper Webb, I could see him.
Oh yeah, quick
backing out and be like, I can still get my thumb back. I can still get my thumb fixed, and we're going to be ready for SMX.
If he's not top 5 in the championship after the first 3 rounds, wait for the post. I mean, just straight up. Okay, so one of the big things I want to get into is Chase Sexton. Okay, last year at Paula, he went 4-2 for a 3rd overall. Jett Lawrence went 1-1. Hunter Lawrence went 2-3. Is that the same result? I called Chase Sexton to win. I called Chase Sexton to win at Paula. I think he's a different rider. I think the bike setup's different. What are your thoughts on the whole situation?
Bro, Eli Tomac, okay? I called Eli Tomac to win the first round. He has had more preparation to get ready for this outdoor than he has ever have before. Yes. He said he's 100%, and he's just been putting down motos and training his butt off in Colorado.
Yes, I do agree.
And he said that he found a setting on his bike that he's been happy with for the last couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, after listening to that interview and the way he was talking, Eli Tomac is going to be dangerous.
It sounds like he's going to come out of the gate firing.
Yes, it sounds like the way he's talking, it sounds like he's going to win. But at the same time, we did see Cooper Webb say that exact same thing when he switched to the Yamaha for SMX, came out and kind of was like a little off the pace. And I know he's Eli Tomac and he's a whole different level of rider, but when you haven't been racing for a while, it's definitely hard to jump back into it. If there's a guy that knows how to jump back into it and get right to the front, it's probably Eli Tomac though. So you definitely can't count him out.
I mean, he's in his early 30s and he's getting back to something that he's super comfortable in racing motocross.
And he has so much experience.
Yeah.
But back to the point, Chase Sexton was absolutely sending at the end of the pro motocross season. He's the pro motocross champ for a reason, right? Okay. Does he go 4, or what did he go? 4-3? No, he didn't go 4-3. That was too Tommy out. 4-2. Does he go 4-2 or something like that and get a 3rd overall again? Or are we going to see, you know, a really good battle for the lead where Chase Sexton's leading most of the time or coming, you know, from a mid-pack start and coming back to win? Is Chase Sexton going to be the fastest guy at Paula? Like, dude, I think this is a huge step for Chase Sexton after winning this championship, or after getting second in the championship and then looking as fast as he does right now, being that comfortable on that bike. You know, the other thing that I'm thinking about too, though, Ty, I want you to chime in on, they had shock problems. They had the vent. Supercross doesn't do anything to the shock compared to what 200-degree 30-minute motos are going to do to that shock.
Yeah, but I felt like they found a really good setting on Chase's bike last year, and they didn't find a Supercross setting that he liked this year as well, and that's why they were kind of forcing it.
Okay, so where's he at?
I think, honestly, if I had to put my money where my mouth is I think Chase is going to continue and keep the ball rolling coming into outdoors and come swinging. I could see him go like 1-1.
You just said Tomac's winning.
I know, but that's the caveat, or that's the, I don't know how to say it, but that's what I'm fighting with, is like, who's going to be on the top? Because we have 3 or 4 guys who legitimately, if they get good starts or get a good first lap. That's why they're tuning into the show, though. It's for us to tell the people our opinion because of our experience. So who's it going to be? Is it going to be Chase? Is it going to be Eli? Is it going to be Jett? Pick somebody. Right now, I'm picking Eli Tomac.
Okay, so
but I wouldn't be surprised if Chase Sexton could pull it off. But if I had to bet on it, I would bet Eli first and then Chase around like third, because I know Jett's going to be firing too.
So you're putting Chase Sexton, one of the best Chase Sextons we've ever seen right now, peak performance Chase Sexton, in third place after Jett didn't look really super great at his house with that video with his knee. Like, he looked good. Don't get me wrong. He's Jett.
Yep.
But he definitely didn't look mid-season ready to go form. So you're putting Jett in front of Chase Sexton.
Yes.
Wow.
Because I'm just hoping that Chase has learned from his mistakes in the past.
Yep.
And if the win's there, then he'll take the win. But if it's not there, he'll just get into a good podium spot, settle in, and be like, all right, this is just round 1 of, 11 rounds, and I'm going to be in the championship. It's a long summer. Let me just settle in and figure out my bike and be on the podium for the first round.
All right, well, let's segue that.
What about you? You didn't say anything.
I mean, I've already told you, I'm back. I'm 100% in. Chase Sexton is going to win at Paula.
All right, where's Eli?
I'm saying Eli is second, and Jett is probably going to end up being third because of his knee. I think you'll see him do really good first moto, and then I think you're going to see that little bit of not training and, knee fatigue get him in the second moto, and he's going to drop back a little bit.
So you don't think Eli Tomac, who's been training in Colorado, has his bike dialed, is going to be hunting down Chase Sexton, and you don't think he's going to have a little bit of extra energy or a little bit extra drive to get the first win on that first round a little bit more than Chase Sexton?
I think that Eli Tomac will get a moto win, but Chase Sexton will win the overall. You just can't. Dude, I'm sorry. There is nothing in my mind that can replace racing a dirt bike. Even at the highest level, we've seen it time and time again. These guys come back and they are really good. Don't get me wrong, but you cannot replace that season fitness. There's nothing that you can do. That's my opinion.
We're talking about
move on.
Supercross season fitness.
It doesn't matter, dude. He has the fitness. He knows he's coming off a great championship last year in Pro Motocross. He's got a red plate with a number 1 on it.
He's been riding his same setting for like 6 to 7 weeks by now.
Doesn't matter. He broke his leg and he had an Achilles tear last year and he's older.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude. You're talking about a young buck.
Okay, we'll see where the money is at, bro.
We're gonna see where the money's at.
I'm starting to get fired up right now, dog.
Perfect.
Like, you gonna call me out? I'm gonna be coming on your shore and bashing you next Monday.
I hope so. Jett Lawrence.
Piss me off, people.
Jett Lawrence looks good. Doesn't look like the Jett we've seen, right? But definitely solid. Can't count him out because of the talent. What's your opinion on Jett right now?
I don't know. What's your opinion on Jett?
I just gave you my opinion. I think he looks a tiny bit off, but totally acceptable for the injury. I wouldn't expect him to look like Jett right now. I think he looks exactly how he's supposed to look right now after that knee injury. He still looks phenomenal. I mean, it's Jett Lawrence.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be tough to...
And it's a video on Instagram.
Exactly. Like, when we're like making our opinions about these guys, we're watching, little clips of videos
and we're
here
hearing
and there.
Stuff.
You know what I'm saying? And then, but like, also like, it's just hard for me to envision Jett off the podium at Paula. Like,
yeah, especially because with the 1-1.
Bro, and just like the historical results of Jett Lawrence at Paula, like that accounts for something when you go to an event center like that and you've had so much success and your whole entire career, like it's going to be very hard to be way off the, the ball.
As a pro racer, and Tyna, I know you'll attest to this, but dude, it's like when you go to a stadium or a track that you do good at, everything's just easier. Like the whole day's easier. It's easier to go faster. It's easier to have confidence.
Your shitty bike, even if you had a shittier bike setup, your bike feels better somehow.
Yeah, like it's super weird. You just do good at those places.
Mm-hmm.
It's this like second nature mindset that's instilled in you that you can't get rid of.
And that's why I put him second.
Hunter Lawrence.
He's going to take,
Hunter Lawrence got second last year at Paula.
Yeah, I know. But with Hunter, he's always said in interviews, and it says his demeanor, I feel like, is like he's like a train almost. It takes him a while for him to get going. It takes for a long to get up to speed. But when he gets up to speed, then he's like
freaking good.
And he's super consistent.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That was a perfect analogy.
So, yeah, I would wait, 4 or 5 rounds, on that 4th or 5th round, right in there is when he's going to start really feeling comfortable.
And I think we're saying that just because that injury, if he wasn't injured, I would expect him to be top 5 for sure outdoor with, it doesn't matter who's in the race. Jason Anderson back on the bike, looked pretty good in the videos that I seen. Big question is, how long will we see Jason Anderson when he has to do the 30 minutes in the summer of 100-degree heat, right?
Yes. And, I'm just wondering about Jason mentally right now as well. Like, because we haven't really heard anything. We haven't got an explanation on why he missed Seattle and why he's been kind of MIA. So, I mean, if he's back and 100% committed, like he can be a legitimate contender if he wants to be.
Yes. Well, we know that at any time, if Jason Anderson really wants to pull it out, he's one of those guys that just can do it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it would be really exciting if he stayed in this season and we saw if we could see him up in the top 5 in the first round, I'd be actually really impressed and be excited for to see what Jason Anderson can do with more rounds to come.
Absolutely. Well,
do you think with teammate Jorge Prado, do you think that's going to help or hurt Jason Anderson?
I think it hurts him.
Just because it's just...
I just think it hurts him because, it's just a frustrating situation to be in. You're Jason Anderson. You're losing your ride, whether you like it or not. There's already rumors going around that Chase Sexton is the next guy coming to fill your spot in. And Kawasaki has, what do you want to call it? Like openly kind of said, oh, well, our marbles are in the Jorge Prado basket. We've signed him for a multi-year deal. This is the guy that we kind of want to get behind. He's a young guy. He's done well over in MXGP in Europe. This is kind of where we're focusing our view moving forward, and Kawasaki has been known to do that. I mean, look at James Stewart in that whole situation. He went perfect season. And supposedly what I heard is that when he had a perfect season, they were moving on from him because they said that was going to be his peak and kind of like move on from that situation, and I've heard the same things, similar things with the whole Ryan Villapoto situation and different people on that team where Kawasaki is very, very, not Ryan. I was talking about, Eli, but Kawasaki is very proactive in moving forward to the next young guy. They don't, from the views that I've seen from the outside, they want that next big thing always. And, they kind of say, if you're winning, they cap it off pretty quickly.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like the last 4 or 5 years with Adam Cincerillo and Jason Anderson have been kind of rough. So they're looking for a guy.
Agreed. Well, their guy is Jorge Prado right now. For outdoor, right?
Yeah, but the rumor is Chase Sexton. So how much is their guy if they're looking to sign Chase Sexton?
I don't know. We're gonna find out at the end of this summer. Moving on to Jorge Prado, though, like you talked about. I saw watched on the Weed Show, he did look really, really good at Club MX. I think he's going to stay out there for a while and kind of try to do some of his training out there is what I've heard. But in the interview that I was listening to, Jorge Prado was kind of speaking on how he's only had 4 weeks on the bike. They did find some good settings and they made some good progress with the bike, but you could definitely tell by the tone of his voice that he felt underprepared. In the sense that, you know, it's not the bike that he's used to. It's not the setup he's used to. He's getting used to the team. He really likes the team because when he spoke on it, he wants to do good. He said, at Paula, I really want to do good for me and I want to do good for the team. But it was a very tentative interview as far as like, we're working on the bike setup. We've definitely found some things that are good and it's getting better. But one thing that I did find very interesting is kind of the last words that I heard from Jorge Prado is he's like, yeah, I want to do good at Paula for me, for the team, and then, you know, get a red plate on this Kawasaki. So that was interesting in my mind just to know where his mindset was. You know, like it wasn't like he's like, oh, I'm trying to get a 5th, or, you know, if we can be in the top 5 or even in the fight in the championship, that would be good. His mindset is red plate, you know, and I think that's a very good sign for him moving into it. Do I think he's going to be in contention for the red plate at the moment? No, but that level of commitment's the wrong word, but you know, that bar that he has set for himself, I think is a good place to be. Because when you get frustrated, you know, you make changes and if he doesn't do as well as he wants to at Paula, he's going to get frustrated and he's going to make that push forward.
I know. I'm just really interested to see how strong his mental game is.
I mean, he's a champion, dude.
I know he's a world champion, MXGP champion,
which is on his good side.
Yes, what's definitely on the good side, and I'm very interested to see like 11 rounds of pro motocross and seeing what happens.
Yeah,
as far as like, but you know, if he goes and gets smoked by Eli Tomac by 15 or 20 seconds, like what is that going to do to his confidence?
Well, I think for right now, he's going to have an excuse because he's going to be like, well, I only had 4 weeks on the bike. I was hurt, blah, 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 blah. Now, if he gets smoked by 15 or 20 seconds mid-season, that's going to be tough on your confidence.
Or like what happens, like, I'm not saying, like, this is all speculation here, but I could see it going this way. Like, he could be right. He could feel like he's riding, like, the hardest he's ever rode and got, like, 5th or 6th.
Yes.
Because of how deep our class is over here. Yes. Especially the class now coming into Paula.
But I will say this. This is one of the big things. For Jorge Prado, he is a world champion, right? He's beaten some really good outdoor guys. So if there's one thing he does have on his side as far as confidence goes, if he does get beat pretty bad, he can at least lean on that he knows he's done it before. So maybe he won't point to himself 100%. That could be very hard on Kawasaki at a certain point because he's like, this bike is a POS if he's not winning, you know, which is a hard place to be. But at the same time, it's kind of a good place to be too if you can 100% believe that you are supposed to be at the #1 spot, even if you're getting smoked.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's going to be a learning curve. It's going to be a learning curve. He hasn't ridden these tracks.
Well, it's not, without a doubt, it's going to be a learning curve, but it's just like,
how
are
much?
You going to sink or swim?
Amen.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, and if he comes out the first 3 rounds and have like 2 or 3 bad rounds, bro, like, bro, that's the problem. I mean, that's not the problem. It's just the competitive nature of American motocross is that we have gnarly depth, right?
Yep.
And if you have a bad day, you could easily be 7th or 8th.
Yep. Absolutely.
And then, like, you know, the lead guys are not going to get anything worse than like a 3rd or a 4th on a bad day.
Yeah. let's keep moving forward. RJ Hampshire, we haven't heard a lot about him moving up to the 450. We know he's supposed to move up to the 450.
I saw a video of him ripping on his 450 on Instagram. He said testing went really good today.
So there you go. How's RJ end up at the first round at Paula? 8th, 9th?
That's what I was.
12th?
I was saying 7 to 10.
Okay, 7 to 10. I think he's going to do good. I think that bike's a lot better outdoor than it is for Supercross.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't expect a lot though. There's not a lot of pressure on him. It's not like, I know he jumped up.
Do you put him in front of Mookie?
No, not at the first round. By mid-season, he should be. First round, he's not going to be in front of Mookie, but by mid-season, he should be.
Why could I totally see his ass
getting a whole shot
and like leading a couple laps?
Bruh, for sure. And doing like some weird RJ swap and kind of wadding up, but being okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen, without a doubt. Wow, if that happens, we really need to start betting. But it's going to. That's some shit RJ's going to do because he's a good starter.
He is a good
And he just got off the 250, so he's going to feel like that 450 just got juice.
And I feel like RJ's like a little bit like a lighter guy.
He is.
Compared to all the 450 guys.
Yeah, he's a small guy. Don't be surprised if RJ Hampshire gets out and gets a start.
Yes.
Gets a whole shot. All right, let's move on. We'll give a little shout out to Cody Schock. He's moving up to the 450 class. He's had some really good results, but hasn't ridden a 450 in 4 years. I did talk to a couple people on the team, and I talked to Cody Schock. He was riding his 250, and he was riding his 250 outdoor, getting ready, testing. He was begging, please let me ride the 450. Please let me ride the 450. He goes out, they build him a 450. He was 5 seconds a lot faster at Club on the 450. So they mutually all decided, Club MX and him, that we're riding the 450 for outdoor season, which I think will be good for the team and him. He is a light guy, but it's going to be a lot less parts. And I think Cody Schock's a great 450 rider. He knows how to get it done outdoors. It's just going to be tough season with all these guys back in.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I hope everybody stays healthy in the class because, I don't want to see anybody go out. But like, with that being said, it's a very competitive class, but it's going to be interesting to see where Cody Schock kind of files in.
Yeah, I'm going to say first round, he's 12th.
Yeah.
Yep. First round, 12th. End of the season, he'll be 7, 5 to 7. He'll get a couple fifths, 7s by the end of the season. Everybody, unfortunately, people get hurt. Cool little thing that's happening. HEP Suzuki, PMG, Twisted Tea. They have signed Benoit Paterel, European guy. Very cool. We're going to go into it just a little bit. Here's some of his results, past results. So MXGP season in 24, he got a 15th. Czech Republic, he got a 9th. Last year, let's see. Wow, these are some weird names. Italy, he ended up with a 7th. This is in the MXGP class last year. And then in Germany, in the MXGP class, he ended up with an 8th. Those are some of his best results. So definitely a solid rider. There's definitely some 13ths, 14ths in there as well. Everybody has bad races, but the potential is there for him to do well. He's on the Suzuki team.
So what do you think that's going to like equivalent to like results in here in our class?
Well, he was riding a Yamaha, so it's going to be a jump. You know what I mean? Getting used to the Suzuki is definitely, the Suzuki's a different bike. It is a lot stiffer frame than the Yamaha, but the Suzuki is fast. They have that bike very, very fast.
And well, I had our programs all in one day too.
Yes. So it's definitely different.
For racing.
I think it's going to equivalent to probably a 13, 14 at the first round. I think would be a great result. And then as he gets better and better, hopefully he'll be right at that 10 spot is my prediction. But then again, those European guys, some of those guys come over and they just turn it up. They know what's on the line. Those guys want to stay here, and they know that they have to get it done if they want to stay here. So definitely a big jump, but cool to have them over here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested. I'm just very interested to see qualifying.
I know it's going to be fun. Qualifying's going to be awesome. It feels like that A1,
yes.
jitter. Just nobody knows where you're at, and you kind of got to find your spot.
everybody's posting that they're riding, but you don't know how many laps have they been riding, how much training they've been putting in.
Yeah.
And like the practice in that first qualifying session is always like very telling on how much work you've been putting in and how fast you are.
Without a doubt.
Because remember a couple practices, all of a sudden like Jett's just like 2 or 3 seconds faster.
Insane. And it can be so uplifting that you got your bike right and so demoralizing. Like, oh my gosh, I just put all this work in and now I'm riding like shit.
Yeah, I'm not even close.
All right. 250 class. Cool move. Club MX. We're going to talk about them again. Fedorsov. Amateur kid. He won the SMX next, number 600. He is going to be moving up to the pro class. Tyler read a little bit about him. He said he kind of has done everything that he's wanted to do in the amateurs, and Club MX and him came to an agreement that it's time to kind of move up and give the outdoor season a shot. So it'll be cool to see that youngster kind of pop up and see what he can do.
I'm actually really excited. Speaking of Club MX Yamaha, is Max Volan.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that handbrake works. I
think it's going to work better in outdoor
than Supercross.
Yes.
I don't know.
What do you mean?
I talked to him and he said that it's better Supercross than it is outdoor. He's still kind of getting used to it. But that was 2 months ago.
On the Weed Show, the one that we watched Jorge Prado ride or whatever, he said it was better in the left or the right-handed corners because he could stand up longer and keep his feet on the pegs and he could just use his rear brake still. But if he's worried about brake fade, you know,
that's
and
what I'm
that
saying.
brake line heating up, like
that's not
it's going to be way worse.
Yes.
In outdoor.
Way worse. Well, let's get to another guy coming in. Mikel Harrop. He's going to be riding on the Triumph team, number 109. I think we seen him get signed about a month and a half, 2 months ago to the Triumph 250 team to ride the complete outdoor season. I'm excited about this kid. Some of his results at the Monster Energy FIM Motocross of Nations in October, he got 4th in the MX2 class and 11th combined. That's pretty impressive. Last year at the China MXGP in the MX2 class, so that is the lights class, he ended up with a 4th place. In Turkey, he ended up with a 5th, Switzerland 5th, Netherlands 8th, Sweden 4th, and Lombok. I'm probably saying that terribly. But either way, he ended up with a 2nd in the MX2 class. So the kid's fast. You know, if you're getting results like that in the MX2 class, you're solid because those top 5 guys in the MX2 class are really, really good.
Yeah, but I still, I would put him, 10th?
10 to 12. Dude, that's good, though, for those guys.
I mean, yeah, well, I mean, we'll see, right?
Yeah.
It's just like the Europe, like I'm always like hesitant to see what happens because of just new track, new schedule. Like it's a lot of changes. So like I look for the European guys to get better with more time and getting used to like the schedule and the practicing in the morning and racing in the same day. Like,
yep.
So
I agree. Last year, 2024, Paula 250 results. Haiden Deegan 1-1. Levi Kitchen 2-2. Tom Vial 4-3 for a 3rd overall. Chance Hymas 3-4. Joe Shimoda. Jalik isn't here. He got 5th. Joe Shimoda was in 6th with an 8-6. Nate Thrasher 11-7. Pierce Brown 10-8. Joey Savacci 5-13. Ryder DeFrancisco 9-12. Julian Beaumer 13-9. Mark Phineas 14-11. Jordan Smith for a 13th overall 7-8. Dylan Schwartz 14th. Ty Masterpool 15th. Jet Reynolds 16th, Daxton Bennick 17th, Cody Schock 18th, Casey Cochran 19th, Lux Turner 20th. So we know Haiden Deegan is going to absolutely fucking rip. Can Levi Kitchen finally beat the Deegs, or is it just not even a shot, right?
No. I mean, unfortunately, just with Levi Kitchen's scenario, like, I don't know how long he's been training.
Yeah.
And like, but bro, Deegan's is on fire.
Okay. Deegan is on fire. Who's Deegan's biggest threat? Right now, we got Masterpool coming off the couch. We got Max Anstie that's going to be back in. Seth Hammaker, Garrett Marchbanks, Ryder D, Juju,
Bro,
Drew Adams.
I'm thinking like
Gone.
I'm thinking like,
Gone.
this guy might go,
We've talked about
22 motos.
Yeah.
If he can stay off the ground, bro, and get decent starts.
I know. There isn't even one name on that list that I'm like, really possibly could threaten him.
Not on outdoor.
Dude, the only guy that I even thought would really like contest for a win and supposedly he wasn't going to do good was our boy Davies.
Yeah.
Like that's the only guy with a lot of momentum.
I know, and he's hurt. We'll see what Seth Hammaker does in outdoors. I've never even seen him outdoor. Have you?
Not really. I mean, he is at the Lawrence compound, so he's at the right spot, and he's coming off the best season and the most speed we've ever seen. But, dude, he's got to go against the gnarliest dude in our sport right now, Haiden Deegan.
Yeah, and then Juju, I don't think he's got the pace outdoor. And
no.
If Juju doesn't get a moto win in like the first 3 or 4 rounds and like the hard pack rounds, I don't think he's going to get a win.
Yeah.
And then Tom Vial is probably his,
Tom Vial's the biggest threat. Period.
Do you think over Levi Kitchen?
Right now, not mid-season, but right now for sure. Dude, so Levi Kitchen, you think he looked good. Trust me.
I feel like Levi Kitchen has more speed than Tom Vial.
Oh, yeah. No, I 100% believe that.
I'm thinking specifically like as far as like taking wins away from Deeks, yes. Levi Kitchen's like one of those guys.
But Tom Vial definitely is going to have way more confidence outdoor, right? He's coming off that championship. He knows he has the 450 contract on the line. You talked about it specifically in our last show that now Tom Vial has to go out and pretty much go for the fucking gusto outdoor to try to get a good 450 contract.
Yes, like he has to put a stamp on his name and tell him like, I'm a competitor through and through. And he can't be rolling over and have any sort of weakness in the lights class.
And that's why I say that Tom Vial, in my eyes, is the biggest threat, is because not only does he have the will to win, he has the confidence from his European outdoor skill, but he also has a huge agenda of, I have to prove to everybody that I can get it done and I'm fast as hell outdoor so I can get that $1 million 450 contract. Or even right now, 450 contract, period, right?
I mean, I feel like right now, like pretty much KTM's going to have a third guy next year.
Dude, that's not true. In the interview with Ian Harris, he pretty much said, we're going to have to figure it out. We don't know yet. We're going to have to figure it out.
Yeah, but that's basic. I took that from like, we might not have a lot of money for Tom Vial, but he's definitely going to have a bike.
Dude, with all the budget cuts at KTM and everything going on, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. To like cement your 450 contract, you have to do good. Because basically,
bro, let's put it this way. If KTM signs Eli Tomac, Tom Vial's shit out of luck.
Basically. I think there's no... Yeah.
If that happens, Tom Vial better start getting on the horn. He better know the day that Eli Tomac gets signed to KTM, he better be on the fucking phone trying to figure out where he's going to go. Because if that happens, all of a sudden that room or even that free bike that he was going to ride for no money is gone.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. Yes, I would agree.
And unfortunately, that's the way dirt bikes go.
Yeah, it is. It is. And then, but like going back to the competitor standpoint in that class more specifically, like, bro, Deegan and Vial are going to be battling for a long time. So like,
yeah,
Vial's,
if Vial can stick with them though.
That's what I'm saying though. Like Vial has to.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yep. Well, that is the Paula Fox Raceway Preview Show. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We got a lot of sponsors. Twisted Tea, Dirt Trick, Stan Benson Racing, Acerbis, California Coast Plumbing, and Xbrand Goggles, all helping us out, making sure that we can put this on. Yeah, is there anything else you want to say, Uncle Ty?
I'm interested to see what Max does.
I'm interested to see what Max Anstey does too. It's just always tough being hurt.
It's super tough being hurt.
Yep.
But I'm excited to see what Max can do on that bike. I'm excited to see what Garrett Marchbanks can do on a PC, bike 2 outdoors, because the last time he was on outdoors, he was like a consistent top 5 guy outdoor.
Yes. All right. Well, that's the show. First round, Fox Raceway, May 24th at Paula. Second round, May 31st, Prairie City. That's Hangtown. June 7th, Thunder Valley Motocross. June 14th, High Point Raceway. June 28th, Southwick. July 5th, Redbud MX. July 12th, Spring Creek. That's one of my favorite tracks I've ever ridden. Millville is awesome. July 19th, Washougal MX. August 9th, Ironman Raceway. August 16th, Unadilla Motocross, one of the most legendary tracks on the circuit. And the final round, August 23rd, Bud's Creek Motocross Park. Probably my second favorite round.
That's where we're ending?
Bud's Creek.
Not Ironman?
Nope, Ironman is not the last round. Right here on promotocross.com, it says August 23rd, Bud's Creek Motocross Park will be the final race of the season. All right, well, guys, thanks for tuning in. That is the Pro Motocross pre-race show. Make sure you guys tune in to Track Talkers. We will have some more hats coming your way soon. Thank you guys again for selling out of those. Like, subscribe, tell your grandma, tell your grandpa, tell your friends. And for any new content, make sure you guys follow the Instagram page as well. We'll be posting on that. And we can't wait to catch up with you guys after the first round of Paula. Peace.
Later.